Trending in China, where we dive into the latest buzz around the Chinese economy and beyond.
Celebrations are a very important element in IKEA's product development concept, and we would definitely like to join and be part of this very happy festival by thinking about what we can do more for our customers.
This year, we have very simple elements with good meaning. I think somehow it's kind of return to the very original and basic.
Many fruits in traditional Chinese culture are endowed with special meanings. I would say they are down to earth, but also poetic at the same time.
Hello and welcome back to Trending in China. This is a special Spring Festival episode, and we're thrilled to be diving into the celebration of one of the most important holidays in Chinese culture. As many of you may know, this year the Spring Festival, known as the Chinese New Year, has been officially added to UNESCO's representative list of the Intangible Cultural Heritage of Humanity, which is a huge milestone for the preservation and recognition of this cherished tradition. For today's episode, we're exploring how IKEA, the globally recognized home brand, celebrates the Spring Festival. Joining me here today are two designers and a product design developer from IKEA to share insights into their unique Chinese New Year designs and how they bring tradition and innovation together in their home products. They are IKEA designers Zhelin and Jing, also Carmen Xiao, a product design developer, all from IKEA's Development Center East Asia in Shanghai. Welcome, everyone. It's great to have you here.
Hello, I'm Carmen. I'm the product design developer for FÖSSTA and the Spring Festival collection. Great to be here.
My name is Zhelin. I'm a product designer at IKEA Development Center East Asia, based in Shanghai. Nice to meet you.
My name is Jing. I'm an independent designer and the co-founder of a rug brand, Miu Rug. Oh, small notice, the brand is about to change its name to Shape of Shapes.
Founded in 1943, IKEA is a Swedish home furnishing brand that now operates in over 60 markets worldwide, offering affordable, well-designed, and functional products, all guided by the vision to create a better everyday life for the many people. So Carmen, can you briefly introduce IKEA's footsteps in the China market and its designs or campaigns related to the traditional Chinese festival?
Definitely. We actually have IKEA in China for 27 years, and we had some offers for our customers celebrating Spring Festival quite many years ago, but not really in a collection. We started our first collection in 2018, so 7 years already. We have multiple functions, colors, styles coordinated, so it's more of a complete collection for celebrating Chinese New Year this year. And I'm actually from Development Center in Shanghai, so basically in the past, all IKEA's products were developed in IKEA of Sweden, as known as iOS before. And in 2011, the first product development center was founded in Shanghai, and back then it was the only development organization outside of IKEA. And we have done FÖSSTA, as you already know, also the gaming collection, slip for cleaning and care, etc.
Now let's turn to Jing and Zhelin. How are you guys involved in the Chinese New Year design projects? And of course, for the upcoming Spring Festival, how would you celebrate it personally?
About me, I was first invited to participate in IKEA's Spring Festival collection in 2019. Oh, it's a long time ago. And then 5 years later, I'm very happy can have again this opportunity to join Carmen and Zhelin to design for the 2025 FÖSSTA collection. About this festival, I'm sure I will go home to be with my family and prepare New Year's Eve dinner together. Decorate the home to have some New Year's atmosphere, like put up Spring Festival couplets. I like to do this like a designer. And following our Ningbo tradition to make and eating glutinous rice bowls on first Lunar New Year's Day, symbolizing unity and togetherness.
I have been part of the team developing the Spring Festival collection since 2018. And collaborating with different product developers and designers each year on this collection. It's it's almost 6 years, so it's very important in my heart, to be honest. And my only and most important plan for the Spring Festival every year, of course, is to go back home. I'm from Fujian, where there are plenty of traditional activities during the Spring Festival. The main ones are worship ancestors and different local deities on different days. It's like we have calendars of all the ceremonies, different ceremonies. And of course, there are also some local celebrations which involve more people, like deity paradise.
I see. So Jing and Zhelin are both from southern parts of the country, right? And also, both of you guys want to go home for the Spring Festival. How about Carmen? What's your plan for the festival?
I'm also not really born in Shanghai. I'm from Wuhan. So every year I basically go home to my parents, and I also will go to my in-laws, my husband's side. So it has been a very busy schedule every year during this time. We need to manage that we make sure we show up at both sides of the family.
Now let's turn to the evolution of IKEA's Chinese New Year designs. You know, IKEA has been part of the Chinese landscape for many years now, as you mentioned. And over time, its Chinese New Year designs have become a celebrated part of the holiday season. So how did IKEA first begin incorporating Spring Festival designs into its product lines?
Yeah, it's a huge thing. All these people taking trains, driving cars back home, and all these lanterns, firecrackers, red colors, and those cut-off paper decoration on the windows, and the Spring Festival couplets on almost each and every home you can see. So it's quite hard not to notice, I think. Celebrations are a very important element in IKEA's product development concept. And we would definitely like to join and be part of this very happy festival by thinking about what we can do more for our customers when they are celebrating this very festive moments. So we actually started with only a few functions like window decoration, like Spring Festival couplets, and few light chains. And they share like a basic element, which is the red color. And then as we dig into people's routine, how they actually celebrate the Spring Festival, how they plan for it, how they travel, what are their needs on this big New Year's Eve dinner. And we then come into an understanding of adding maybe dinnerware and chopsticks into the collection as well. Maybe adding a red tablecloth because it's so important to have some red elements in this. So, and we started to sell in China as a main market in the very beginning. And then we expanded to Asia, and then now we sell it globally. So not only for those that are familiar with the route for Spring Festivals, but also anyone who is interested in this festival can find something that they like in FÖSSTA collection. And Zhelin has been a designer for Spring Festival collection for a few years. Maybe he can share some of his precious moments with us.
Every year when we prepare for the Spring Festival collection, me and my teammates, we will went to many different places, different cities, and we invite different people from different, I would say, functions. So people have different habits, and we share together and we learn from each other. I think this is the most memorable moments for this collection every year to me.
Yes, I think it's a very challenging job for Zhelin because he was in this collection every year, basically. So he needs to come up with a new concept every year. So I think it's a very hard job for him to do. And I also wanted to share a few things about this, from the production and collection point of view. When we first do the collections, we only included some basic elements, like doing something in red and focusing mostly on decorative functions. And then we started looking into people's routines. So not only looking at the New Year's Eve, but maybe looking into 10 days before the big dinner and then 10 days after the big dinner, and what kind of activities people want to do and what are their pain points. And then by deep diving into those daily life routines, we expanded to many more functions, like maybe a bed textile set or even a thermos for people keeping their drinks warm when they are on the train going back home, etc.
Yes, I saw this thermos the other day. It was really smart. Like, you even focus on the spring travel rush for people to take it with them on the train or like maybe on subway.
When I was younger, I didn't really get it. And now I have to have a thermos with warm water with me almost every day.
Yeah, I start to use that as well.
As all of you mentioned, you all have been part of the Chinese New Year design projects for many years. So let's talk about the personal side of things. What has been your most memorable or the most challenging moment in creating designs for the Chinese New Year over the years?
Speaking of the challenge, I think the color of this new FÖSSTA collection were a challenge for myself because both Carmen and I wanted to try to break away from the usual big red while still keeping it festival. And Carmen also wanted to use this collection for the daily life. Yes, you've got a little ambition. So I changed orange color, tangerine, pink, and of course some red. And I found it was very hard to find the right balance between the festival and the everyday. But hopefully we did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I can also share some challenges, I think. Yeah, for me, one important challenge that comes up every year is how to create a product within limit time and price, and then that the customers would want to have during the New Year period. It needs to have Chinese element, cultural significance, and also could invoke emotional resonance. And of course, it also needs to have IKEA identity and uniqueness. Combining all these points, we need it, and it would be the special in the market as well. And as a Chinese designer, I do feel some pressures when working on this kind of project every year because I will have higher expectations for the outcomes of the project compared to the others, to be honest. If we zooming into design, I think how to use Chinese elements in a smart way is quite a challenge to me. And it should be easy to understand and somehow should be simple and clean, which is what customers need and more suitable to their homes. People here are very proud of their culture, but we also have other customers from global market. So the design should be inclusive enough and easy to be loved.
Yes, and I also wanted to share maybe a few things that I will probably keep in my heart for a few years ahead. And first time when I got to know that I'm gonna do this collection, I was a little bit like, oh, this is a big challenge, because we have been like doing animals, the 12 animals symbolizing the New Year's every year. So for this year, I was quite torn to decide if we should do another year of animal as its main theme, or should we focus on something else. So I was thinking maybe, just let's try something new. So this year we basically has like skipped the animals, and we do something that is really, really nice to look at. When you look at this symbol, you like it and you feel happy. And then also just to kind of like making people recollect how their lives used to be when they were younger, or like when they were like 10 or even younger, when there is no internet, when there's no mobile phone. So this is something that I think what I want to express in those products when people do look at them in the store.
Okay, so now let's move on to the major theme of today's discussion. It's about the 2025 FÖSSTA collection. So looking ahead to this year's design, we saw the launch of the 2025 Spring Festival series with the theme Invite the World to Celebrate Together. So what inspired this theme, and are there any specific cultural elements that influenced the design this year? How do you strike the balance between honoring traditional Chinese culture and adapting the designs to IKEA's functional home products?
Yes, the inspirations are actually from, the deeply rooted cultural elements like the Chinese calligraphy and those happy fruits, or even just one character, Fu, that you see everywhere this time of the year. Even though the development team sitting here in China, we still want FÖSSTA to honor the cultural traditions to amplify the precious elements of the Lunar New Year. So FÖSSTA is sold globally, and we would encourage people from all backgrounds to join and be part of this celebration. And also, FÖSSTA, this word is Swedish. It means new and beginning. So it is quite similar to the Spring Festival, which is a new start of a year.
Oh, that's very interesting. So now let's dive into some of the key products in the FÖSSTA series this year. We see motifs like pomegranates, persimmons, and candied hawthorn being featured on tableware and textiles like Jing mentioned earlier. Can you explain the design philosophy behind these elements and why these symbols were chosen for this series? Because I think it's quite different from the designs over the past few years.
This year, we hope to find the design elements from the biggest connection we Chinese have with our family during this special day, food. I think food not only carry many memories and nostalgia for each of us, but also serve as a media for sharing moments with our family in the present. Moreover, many fruits in traditional Chinese culture are endowed with special meanings. I would say they are down to earth, but also poetic at the same time. Perhaps that's the dual goal we aim to achieve. During the brainstorming with Carmen and Zhelin, we agreed on these food and plants pretty quickly. The pomegranate symbolize many children, many blessings, as well as a red heart, and the persimmon 柿子, whose name sounds similar to the words for matter, 是, in Chinese signify 万事如意, all matters going well, and the 糖葫芦 symbolize good things comes one after another. And regarding the graphic design style, I want to use the simplest hand-draw approach, making each food item a graphic protagonist, maximizing it and feeding them throughout the objects to give the visual a vibrant and full effects. Yes, this is what we want to do for this new collection.
Mm-hmm. So I know Zhelin is responsible for the ceramics part. Do you have more to share with us about the aesthetics this year?
Our collection this year is quite modern, I think, and Jing already made very nice patterns for those textile and decoration. And this year, for my part, I designed some ceramic dinnerware and also a snack box. For the ceramic, I use the outline of the two leaves and petals, which is typical Chinese inspiration, and combined with glaze in transparent green and pink color. I just try to create a little bit subtle Chinese aesthetic because I learned Chinese painting when I was a kid and I love Chinese painting. I got inspired by those subtle and peaceful vibe from the paintings, which I think is a very good element to bring into our collection to balance it a little bit. And I hope people will use them every day, more than just during Spring Festival. And I hope they could be a beautiful addition to their dining tables. And with these beautiful products, maybe they were more willing to share the nice Spring Festival night with their friends and post on the social media, I think.
I noticed that some of the textiles in this new series are made with recycled materials. So how does this align with IKEA's broader sustainability efforts, and how do you see the role of sustainable design in future Chinese New Year collections?
Sustainability is actually a very important bullet point we look into at the very beginning, at the kickoff stage of a project. So not only materials, but like functions and the forms and designs is equally important when we are talking about sustainability. And we don't want our customers to take those products back home, but use it only for the spring break, but they are also able to use it like all year round. So that is from a product function definition point of view. And also from the material point of view, as you mentioned, we use recycled materials in FÖSSTA collection. And we also prefer to use as much as natural materials like bamboo and wood and paper as possible.
Thanks for all three of you for sharing all these Chinese New Year designs with us. So looking back on your journey with IKEA's Spring Festival designs, how do you think these collections have impacted Chinese families and even global consumers over the years?
This picture, I'm sure all of you guys also see quite a lot nowadays, like families and friends all sitting together around this huge round table, but everyone looking at their own cell phones. So I really want to do something, some products that is more tangible and maybe able to motivate all of us to resonate with our old traditions for Spring Festival, like playing mahjong and watch this TV gala celebrating in spring, like cracking some sunflower seeds and having some tea, talk and enjoying the togetherness. That's the thing. So I really want those designs that has been included into the FÖSSTA collection can somehow provide the way to keep those cherished customs alive.
Yeah, maybe I can share the meaning to me personally, because to me, as a designer working for IKEA, designing the product for the global customer, to me, the Spring Festival collection is a very nice medium for us to connect with customers and also be closer to them as well. It's a way for us to observe, learn, and understand their life and the changes that are going on among people. It's also a very good chance for us to renew and recharge our knowledge of people's life at home, not only as designer, even though we are Chinese, we live here, but we need to see things from different aspects. So we will keep learning by doing. So.
Okay, so that makes me curious. What are your observations through the years? Like, what is the newest trend? And what did people like in the past for the IKEA products, and what do they like now? What's the difference that you observe?
Yes, and to me, the trends are always change, Sometimes people they hope the products during Spring Festival could have a lot of very traditional elements and cultural background. But when the life change, sometimes maybe it's also depends on the life conditions and the situation they have now. And for each person, I think it's different. And sometimes they would turn to something more simple and relaxed and straightforward. It could be maybe it's a little bit like an advertisement, but it's just like what we have today, this year. We have very simple elements with good meaning. I think somehow it's kind of return to the very original and basic, like the way we want the product during the Spring Festival to be. Just very nice looks and very nice meanings behind it, and it's enough.
I also picked up this kind of like more relaxed vibe, you know. Life is already very hard. So let's not be so Juan, and let's just like take some time off, just lay flat, have a nice throw and lay back to your sofa, have a nice cushion with you, have some coffee, have some tea. So we don't do something that is like overly complicated just for the sake of doing it. Just have something nice, simple, and relax. So that's basically how we felt for this year when we were developing the collection.
And also, speaking of changes, do you see any significant shifts in the general consumer behavior or home decoration trends, particularly in the Chinese market, no matter it's the festive season or not?
I think nowadays we are looking at customers that has a wider view, meaning that maybe 20 years ago, when those kind of like furnishing companies or other brands just came into China, everything's so new. But now, I mean, the mainland customers, Chinese customers, they are actually more open, and they are having their kind of like their own aesthetic styles. So, I mean, in the past, maybe customers follow, but now we need to be like really dive into what kind of needs they need, and then come up with something that they really like and would take home.
Yeah, as you mentioned, maybe in the past, customers just follow the trends created by the big brands, but now I do feel they are creating their own style now.
Exactly.
And they also create some new traditions as well, like because the life changed. So now we try to make our unique and new design, but in the same time, I think we are also follow them as well.
Yes.
That's why we said we should observe them and learn from them.
And moving on, for the future, do you think IKEA will incorporate more Chinese New Year elements into other products down the road? Or are there any exciting new projects or initiatives we can expect from IKEA in the coming years?
Of course, yes. Every year we try to get inspired by different heritage and traditions. We hope the customer, they will feel fresh every year when they come to IKEA, or when they try to find some nice things from internet and buy something to decorate their place. So let's looking forward to the next year, and let's see where we have them. I will keep it as a secret, of course.
I think every year we will have something that is like when you actually see them in the store, you will feel, wow, you can't really find this elsewhere in the market. But still, you will feel motivated and really like to connect with your family by having this product. So I'm also looking forward to the new collection. I feel I've seen some patterns, some original types already in the office, but I'm sure you will like it. That's the only thing I can say right now.
As we mentioned earlier, with the inclusion of the Spring Festival in UNESCO's representative list of intangible cultural heritage of humanity, what do you think this kind of world recognition will mean for Chinese New Year celebrations globally? Will it have a greater impact on how brands like IKEA engage with the holiday moving forward?
I think it's a great news. I think as a Chinese, born and raised up in China, I'm really, really happy to hear and very proud of it. And I think this actually motivates us more for the coming years. How can we actually maybe incorporate more nice elements, and then to making sure we have as much as functions as possible to catering for the markets, not only for the Asian market, but also globally, as we are already now in this enlisted title. So really happy for it.
Yeah, when this become more and more important, or when people start to think about it as as a very important activities during the year. Maybe I will have a little bit more pressure again, like I mentioned before. So, of course, I need to observe again and learn the more traditions and also the new traditions I just mentioned. So we will keep learning and try to make something new and fresh, because people might feel tired of some old type of products, which is what we don't want our products to be. Like the impression from the customer.
I think it's a great opportunity because, for the cultural background that we already have, it's actually a lot of elements we can utilize and then try to spread over the world, like those watercolor you mentioned you really like, and maybe something else. I think it's a great opportunity.
And I think not only the traditions and the art from the Chinese culture could be utilized in the future. I think maybe it's also a very good angle to cut in is from the life we have, the people have now or before. Try to utilize the memories, those very nice memories from childhood and before, and also expectation for the future.
Yeah.
I think the hope and the wish is always the very nice factor to think about, incorporate.
Yes.
Thank you guys for all the cool stories behind the designs. So before we wrap up today, I'd like to invite each of you to share your Spring Festival wishes with our listeners. What would you like to say to those celebrating the holiday this year?
Then I would like to borrow the symbolic meanings from the patterns of our new FÖSSTA collection. 万事如意, all matters going well. 好事一个连一个, good things coming one after another.
And let me do it in a very classic way. I wish everyone a smooth work life, 工作顺利, happiness, 生活愉快 and good health. 身体健康. I think body and health is really important to us nowadays.
I think my wish goes to everyone here and also the audience around the world to have enjoying a very happy Chinese New Year, the New Year, and to have a very healthy and prosperous year ahead. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Carmen, Jing, and Zhelin, for joining us today and sharing such wonderful insights into IKEA's Chinese New Year designs and more. And thank you to our listeners for tuning in. We'll be back next time with more exciting topics from China's rapidly changing landscape. In the meantime, we wish you all a joyful and prosperous Chinese New Year. That's pretty much today for our podcast.
Thank you.
噼里啪啦啪啦，记得百鸟都来迎春山。
Thanks for listening to Trending in China. If you enjoyed the show, please follow on your platform of choice and stay tuned. Make sure to share and leave a comment on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. You are also more than welcome to check our newsletter on Substack, which is called Peking Insight, where you can find more in-depth sharings around Chinese economy. Until next time!